外級 CDC をスタンドアローンにしたな。調子に乗りやがって、グレアムのくせに。
Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK and welcome back to Anonymous Code. And oh boy, what a lovely situation we've got ourselves into. We're trying to save Asuma's mother, and I guess also Asuma, because the military has decided, well, they didn't decide. The higher-ups decided we're going to seize the Gaia Institution, basically. We're taking over. Asuma has no more power. They killed Ewan, actually, in the previous episode. But I do feel like we're kind of going through this whole, situation, all these events that will be provided to us in order to jump back and prevent them with the knowledge that we have obtained. Hopefully that's the case. And right now, I think we're just kind of... I don't really know what we're doing, actually. I think maybe we're running away, hiding, trying to remain, I guess, in or out of sight, and trying to figure out where Asuma's mother is. Asuma himself, I have absolutely no idea what he is doing, but I think he's checking up on the situation here. Also, in regards to the previous episode, I was doing like a little adjustment with my microphone volume. I've decided to kind of just go back to how I did have it before I messed up and changed it and then experimented with it, because honestly it's fine the way it is, I think. So I don't think there was even a difference in quality or anything that was noticeable. So we're all good there. On with the show. Oh, how smart you are. Asuma had been turning that cube device in his hands for some time now. Was that how he input commands? Isolated. So it was separated from the internet. This meant that he would need to establish a wired connection if he wanted to use the Gaia QCDC or Gaia. He didn't look like he was panicking though. No, he's actually pretty calm right now. Well, calm/irritated. Asuma had found a hiding place in a nearby inspection corridor as soon as the army had rolled in. It was like he knew they were coming. That move would probably buy us some time. But the army was thorough. There was no telling how long we'd be safe. You know, I do have to say, with our limited knowledge of this kid, he seems to really, I guess, anticipate and read into things and people really well, which probably coincides with how he was able to maintain an Earth simulator, which is supposed to, do all of that. Still, Asuma looked pretty calm. How was he so sure nobody was going to find us?
パターン5291か。
何を見てるんだ？
は、なんでお前に答えなくちゃいけないんだよ。
Alright. Excuse us for asking, I guess.
別に教えてくれなんて言ってません。
じゃあ喋るなよ。
へっ、悪かったな。ふーん。パターン5252か。
I know what we're trying to do. Yeah, we're trying to bother him. We're trying to make him explain it.
喋ってたのお前だろ。
武器になってどうするんです？
俺だけ？
Yeah, why are we shouting? Why are we getting a little upset, actually? I thought we were just doing this to mess with them. No fair.
ここならちょっとぐらい騒いでも見つからないよ。あと10分くらいはね。
So he was actually predicting the future, huh?
そのパターンというのは？
だからさ、なんでお前らに説明しなくちゃいけないんだって。
You don't have to tell us shit, we're just wondering.
聞かなくてもなんとなくわかるさ。
いくら高性能でも 100% の予測なんかできるわけない。
Yeah, it's a simulation. No simulation can be so perfect, but it can give you an idea.
99.9% まで精度を高められたとしても、残り 0.1% を予測できないだけで無数の差分が生まれるんだ。
Looks like that news ticker there was showing that that Kaburagi, who, again, I'm sorry, I'm stupid. I feel like that name has popped up before, but alas, he is now dead. Accident suspected. Gee, who would have thought there?
何も知らないなら黙ってろ。
Well, okay. Let me rephrase everything I was saying here about Asuma. I guess maybe he could be good at reading people and anticipating things, but yeah, he's also just relying on the fucking Earth simulator. He looked at me like I was beneath him and then exhaled loudly.
っていうか、お前らなんでここにいるんだよ。
私たちはただあなたのお母さんを守りたいと。
Yeah, and he's not gonna help us with that. お前らに守
ってもらう必要なんてないって何度も言わせるな。確定してたわけじゃない。 さっき言ったろ、ガイアも完璧に未来予測ができるわけじゃないって。
Okay, so if he anticipated this with the help of Gaia and whatever else, then why is there still a possibility here at hand that calamity is sure to come about here very shortly, as soon as even tomorrow? Actually, no, that's the scheduled date, isn't it? So as soon as a couple hours from now, why is that a great possibility? What is bound to happen here?
今は地球シミュレーターが世界にいくつもあるし、最近はイレギュラー要素も多すぎる。死刑だとかお前らとか。でもガイアを使わなくたって政府が僕を切り捨てようとすることぐらい簡単に予想できるんだよ。後ろめたい秘密を抱えてる奴らは平気で人を裏切るんだ。
お前すごいな。年下とは思えない。
お前がバカなだけだろ。
Well, yeah, saw that one coming.
だと
This bow tie boy really thought he was hot shit. Yeah, he was clever, and I could see why people called him a genius. But at no point during his explanation did I sense a shred of consideration for what his mom wanted. That kind of stood out to me.
で、お前らの言う週末って来るのはいつって言ったっけ？
That's coming up.
1月19日、協定世界時3時14分7秒です。
Honestly, I kind of forgot the actual date and thought it was happening in February, so whoopsies. Well, it was the beginning of the year, so we've got this situation, that situation, maybe something in between, I don't fucking know. Doubt it.
まんま2038年問題じゃん。
Okay, so that's a known thing. What does it have to say? A potential problem that could cause malfunctions in various Unix-based systems in the year 2038. Unix and Unix-based OS calculate the current time by using midnight UTC of January 1st, 1970 as the starting point. This value is stored as a signed 32-bit integer, so when it exceeds 2 to the 31st power, somewhere over 2 billion, the integer overflows and becomes negative, starts all over. Loops all the way back to the start. It is possible that this may cause major malfunctions in many systems, and experts are working hard to prevent a reoccurrence of what happened in 2036. The overflow is set to happen at 3:14, at 7 seconds past that time, UTC, on January 19th, 2038, hence the name. Yeah, that is kind of what went down. Wait, was that what went down in 2036? We heard about this in this game, I'm pretty sure, and it caused some problems.
じゃあこの世界もうすうすそうじゃないかとは思ってたけど。
なあ、その日より後の世界はガイアの未来予測じゃどう出てるんだ？
If he had used Gaia for so many simulations, he must have simulated the days past the time of the end.
普通にシミュレーションできてるさ。世界がその日に終わるなんていう予測は全くない。
Then something happens that it can't simulate,
お前らが何かしでかそうとしてるん
and
じゃ
it
ないのか。
alters the direction of the events leading up to that. It alters our path, and we're going to go to the end.
なんでそうなるんだよ。
だってお前らどっちも存在自体がデタラメじゃん。いきなり受肉した女とシンクロ率が異常に低い男だぞ。
え？なんだよ、シンクロ率って。
All the shit we keep on doing can't be added up in the simulator. We keep on doing things it can't expect.
ガイアでのシミュレーションと現実での行動の一致を示す数値だよ。普通なら95から 99% ぐらいで推移するんだ。ガイアならそこまで正確に予測できる。
And those are some pretty high percentages, but I'm sure for Poland it's a whole lot lower with all these recent events.
でも地球シミュレータの未来予測を見て行動を変えるようなことをするとシンクロ率はガクッと落ちる。
That reminded me of Kent Korihisha. He saw the fate line after all.
それでも 80% を下回ることはないんだ。それなのにお前は
I what?
お前は普段はともかくたまにすごく数値が落ちることがあるんだよ。
Well, yeah, we're not jumping all the time, but we do jump, when the situations call for it, like probably here very shortly.
だいたい 20% ぐらいまでな。そんな低いシンクロ率は普通じゃ絶対に出ない。
たまにって具体的には？
例えばお前がクエストの事件に関わってる時だ。 2、3回すごく落ちる瞬間がある。
Quests, huh? My guess was that the drops lined up with when I saved and loaded.
で、そっちのお前は
Asuma glared at
そ
Momo.
もそも世界に存在しないことになってる。
Well, yeah, she's not even supposed to exist. Like we know that, well, what do we know? She kind of came into being who she is spontaneously.
ガイアで今をいくらシミュレーションしても、お前は現れないんだよ。
Was he serious?
そうですか。
Yeah, I'm sure that makes her feel great.
私もなぜ自分がこうして肉体を得たのかはよく分かっていないんです。でも私は私のやりたいことをしようと思っています。
Momo. Nice. That was what I expected from one of us. For all we knew, she might have been a literal messenger sent by God.
僕のガイアを惑わすからムカつくんだ。お前ら二人が絡んでくると何も予測通りにならない。
I mean, it's not really our fault. We're not trying to intentionally mess with Earth simulators, but we are trying to save the world, all in all.
それが人生ってやつだろ。
本当にムカつくな、お前。どうせお前も未来予測してるんだろ。気づいてないと思わなよ。
Well, kind of. There's an asterisk on that one. Seeing the future, huh? In a way, yeah. You could say that's what saving and loading was about.
だから僕はお前らを信用しない。僕が信じるのはガイアだけだ。
He's trying to trust things that are more grounded than our weird magic. I get it, most definitely. Things that you don't understand, why the hell would you want to believe in that? Asuma left the tunnel about 10 minutes later.
どうするつもりだ。
ガイアのコントロールルームまで行く。奴らに二度とガイアを勝手に触らせない。
Even so, there's bound to be soldiers there. Why would soldiers leave the Gaia control room?
反撃してここ
That's
から追
where
い出して
Ewan was, right?
僕を裏切ったことを後悔すればいいんだ。
軍とまともにやり合う気かよ。
Asuma wasn't even paying attention to his surroundings as he walked. I couldn't let him go it alone.
おい、見つかるぞ。
見つかるもんか。
He was really confident, but he was stressing me out too. Well, yeah, he's walking around like nothing's going on whenever, or during an actual army raid? I don't know what you really want to call it. The army's out and about. I told myself to calm down. Asuma knew what the army was going to do, so he probably had his reasons for marching off. I stayed close to him and waited to see what happened. The institution was like a labyrinth. It wasn't even on the map that Oz had sent. Even the hallway we were in was a zigzagging mess. Just moving forward was a hassle. It felt like we might run into the army at any moment. That would massively suck, that's an understatement. But Asuma just kept walking forward. Eventually, we came to a crossroad. We heard the sound of multiple footsteps coming from the right
こ
turn.
のままだと鉢合わせになるぞ。
黙ってろ。
そういうわけにはいかないだろ。
He looked so indifferent that I couldn't help grabbing his shoulder to stop him.
話せよ。タイミングが大事なのに狂ったらどうするんだ。
タイミング？
Asuma began fiddling with his cube input device. The soldiers' footsteps were getting louder.
アスマ、一旦逃げた方がいいって。
いや、仕込みは終わった。
今の音。
Yeah, what was that?
銃声だ。
And there were a lot of guns too. It didn't look like we'd been spotted though. Or
何を
shot.
した？
Saying nothing, Asuma continued walking forward. The hallway came to a T-junction before long, and Asuma stopped in front of it. 10 seconds of silence passed. Oh. I heard more gunfire and screams coming from our left. What's going on? Asuma checked the area and then turned in the direction of the gunfire. We came across two soldiers.
亡くなっているんですか？
Did they kill each other? What did Asuma do? Or what did he look into? They were lying in pools of blood. There was no mistaking it. They were dead.
じゃあさっきの銃声は？
僕がやってるのは AR の投影表示だけだ。
Oh, okay, I see.
AR だって？
A little bit of
投影してる
trickery.
のはその間抜けに撃たれて死んだのは誰だと思う？
Oh, gee, I wonder. Any soldier Asuma projected himself onto would disappear completely. It would look like Asuma was the only one there.
それぞれ別行動してる兵士どもが鉢合わせするタイミングで僕の姿を他の兵士に投影させたんだ。
Okay. Yeah, that's what he meant by the timing
じ
then.
ゃあ知ら
He
ずに
had to
同士
allow
討ち
for
したわ
that
けか
exact situation to play out.
最初の一発さえ撃たせちゃえばいかに精鋭だろうとあとはパニックになる。グレアムでも制御できなくなって総崩れだよ。パターン52901は特に起きる可能性が高いって分かってた。もう数えきれないくらいシミュレーションした。この頭に全部入ってるんだよ。あいつらの未来における動きが全部な。想定外はお前ら二人がいることぐらいだ。だから余計な真似はするな。おとなしくしてろ。
Yeah, yeah. It's not like we're trying to actually do anything to him. We're actually trying to, protect him and his mother. But of course, he's not going to believe us because, well, how can you trust something that you can't really understand? He really was a genius. But I could tell that this kid was messed up too. What kind of person would simulate themselves getting betrayed by the government and murdered by the army and then fully memorize it? Most of his simulations must have ended with him messing up and getting shot. I had never seen an Earth simulator myself, but I heard that they were pretty realistic. Could a kid his age really stay sane after seeing himself getting killed over and over in that much detail?
そこまで未来予測ができるなら
Honestly, I think he's just built different. Like, I don't think a lot of things that would ordinarily affect a person really affect him.
いえ何でもありません。
殺さずに対処しろって言いたいの？嫌だね。先に裏切ったのは向こうだ。
Oh, Momo, you're just too good-natured. Asuma kept going deeper and deeper into the facility without encountering a single soldier. Area Z, where Gaia was located, really was like a maze. But even now, instead of taking the straight path, Asuma was using a detour to avoid the soldiers. He was turning corners, doubling back, switching to longer routes, and sometimes stopping in place for an entire minute. He passed by multiple fake Gaia locations. He went up some stairs and then down others. He used elevators built to travel between two floors. In the end, I had no idea where we were. I guess if you're gonna hide something, what's going on? I guess if you're gonna hide something as crazy and serious as the Gaia Earth simulator, you really got to go through the trouble of making sure it is deep in there. There was distant gunfire and soldiers' screams echoed. We did come across some bodies, but nobody still breathing. Asuma's actions were calculated precisely, and as he walked on, he tinkered almost mechanically with the device in his hand. More and more soldiers died, but he didn't seem to mind.
お前は失敗しないんだな。
カイが最初から見えてるんだ。失敗するわけないだろ。軍がどのタイミングで逃げ始めるかまで僕には分かってる。それをなぞるだけでいい。
でもさっきお前はこう言ったよな。世界に地球シミュレーターが複数ある状況じゃ未来予測は完璧にはならないって。
Yeah, and that's where we come in. When things do hit the fan, and they will at some point.
すでにエージェントがこの施設内に潜り込んでいる可能性だってあるんです。
Oh, 100%.
俺たちみたいに前に中野でモモを捕まえようとしてたよな。あの件の背後にいたのも政務室だ。知らないとは言わせないぞ。
エージェントの中にフェイトラインを未来予測を見たことのある人間はほとんどいません。
You know, that had to have been in his Earth simulation. He had to have known that the Vatican was also like in cahoots here. We saw it. It absolutely did happen before we loaded in that first go around. He had to have seen that in his Earth simulator, right?
ただ、
出ないと取り返しのつかないことになるぞ。
And even if he had chased the army out of the facility, it would still be over. He was completely cornered here. Even if he managed to take control of the Gaia Institution, what would he do with it? He was still just a 14-year-old kid. He wouldn't be able to keep up with his winning streak for long if he was up against the state itself.
協力するから一緒に守りきろうぜ。お前の母親だって一人で閉じ込められてるより家族に近くにいてもらった方がきっと安心できるって。
That was when, Asuma glared at me again.
僕に指図するな。
We're just providing big-ass suggestions here and a lot of information. I had never seen such intense defiance in his eyes.
僕の家族のことに口出しするな。何も知らないくせに。何も。
What's got you a little confused? Suddenly he fell silent, and then he turned pale and quickly began working his device.
は？
What happened?
なんでこんな。
What? What was he seeing on his BMI?
おい、何があった？
こんなのあるわけない。あるわけが。
何が起きたんだ？アスマ！
Unless it's something that's bound to happen.
セキュリティが。クレードルのセキュリティが解除された。
Oh shit. Remember when he said that nobody can do it? Well, the impossible had happened. That's when the date changed. Oh, yeah, you're right. Chills ran up my spine as I felt the certainty of calamity approaching.
ああ、
Yeah, not time to
い
jump
つ
yet,
使って
though.
もおかしくない。
Not time to jump yet. I think there's more to see. We need to see how things will play out here with this calamity.
部屋の状況がわからない。監視カメラも潰されてる。7個もあるカメラが全部。
Oh, it's all gonna fall apart so freaking fast.
カメラが潰される直前に誰かが映ってるかも。
Asuma mumbled as he spun his device faster than ever. My eyes couldn't keep up with the speed of it. To look at his hands, you'd think he was totally calm. His inputs were as controlled as you'd expect from a boy genius, but then...
What?
His hand slipped, and the device fell to the floor. His sense of calm, it's gone. Momo picked it up and gave it to him.
見つけたぞ！
Oh shit. Oh, time to jump?
熱い状況になってきたな。
Time to jump?
脅かすなよ。
Asuma had only been standing still for a few minutes, but it was enough time for soldiers to find us. I didn't know which was more impressive, Asuma's illusion or the army's tracking. Despite the chaos, Asuma had fallen into a daze. He wasn't even trying to move. I'm trying to
そうせか
move.
すな。
Shit, please.
熱い状況になってきたな。
Momo took Asuma's hand and ran. I followed close behind. I guess we're not in extreme danger yet, but they have finally found us. We ran all over the place trying to lose them before somehow finding a place to hide. But we couldn't stay here. Now that they had a rough idea where we were, they'd start closing in on us. It was only a matter of time before they found us.
離せよ！
Asuma shook off Momo's hand. He went right back to tinkering with his device.
なんでセキュリティを再ロックできない？なんでこっちの操作を受け付けないんだよ！
His hand stopped, and he glared at us.
お前らだな。お前らが何かしたんだな！
I'm not really surprised that he's, distrusting us and really accusing us of doing something immediately here, but, no.
静かにしろって。
Possible gunfire reported at Gaia Institution. Yep, that is true. That is, very, very much happening. The army could probably hear us, damn it.
だって他に考えられない！くそ、話しすぎた！くそ！
落ち着いてください。
Momo grabbed Asuma by his shoulders and looked into his eyes.
とにかく落ち着いて冷静にならないと。
うるさい！
Asuma pushed her away, excuse me.
前！
いいんです、ポロンさん。
Yeah, in the end, he's just a little boy. I mean, he's not going to do any, real harm here, but wow. His calm, it really is gone. As irritable as he always seems to be, yeah, that was his calm nature. And now that things are falling apart and he can't figure out why, that's enough to really just, slip on in. Yeah, I had to chill out myself, too.
なんとかしないと。なんとか。
Yeah, he's, I don't know, I guess the speed of which, he thinks and processes everything goes about really everything here with the simulator. Yeah, once things begin to fall apart, it's like he's gotta go faster, and that's where he begins to slip up. Asuma went back inside his shell. He was trying to deal with the situation through his device, even though he had just said it was ignoring his commands.
セキュリティを解除できるのは本当にお前だけか？他に操作できる可能性のある人間は？
The army had temporarily revoked his administrative rights, but he had taken them back earlier. it couldn't have been them again.
いたけど、そいつならさっき殺された。
Yeah, it was Ewan.
他にはいない。誰も。外級 CDC に管理者権限でアクセスできて、しかも正確に操作できるやつなんて他にはいないんだよ。
Unless Ewan actually, you know, if he was able to pass on some rights, I don't know if he'd have that ability. Sure, Asuma was able to grant him the administrative rights, but would Ewan also have the ability to grant?
だとしたらやっぱ政務室のエージェントか。奴らは独自の QCDC を持ってるわけだし、それかセキュリティを破れるような何らかのサクラメントを使った可能性もある。
Probably the former, but I wouldn't be surprised with the latter either.
ロザリオ、何か知っていますか？ロザリオ？
Oh, we are cut off. There was no response. She was supposed to be snooping on the Holy Office by herself. Emergency blockade established on routes to port of Tokyo. What the fuck?
連絡がつかない。
Had something happened to her? I had a bad feeling about this. It was pretty clear that whatever was happening, we hadn't seen it coming.
クロス、軍の連中に動きはあるか？
No, I guess it's just the connection with Rosario. I had asked him to intercept the army's comms.
さっきまでは混乱してたが、今は統率を取り戻しつつある。お前たちの居場所もすぐ見つかるぞ。ただ、クレードルのセキュリティが解除された件は気づいてないようだ。まだ母親の居場所はバレてない。
Yeah, but the security is off. The possibility is becoming more and more real that she is in danger. If the army didn't know anything, the Holy Office had to be the ones messing with the cradle. That meant that they were probably behind the security outage too.
だったら今がチャンスだな。
We wanted to make our move before the army. Deal with both of them and the Holy Office at the same time? Hell no.
アスマ、俺がクレードルに行く。場所を教えろ。
Yeah, he's not gonna do that.
お前、
He will not do that.
やっぱりお前だな。お前がセキュリティを解除したんだな。母さんを殺しに行くつもりだろ。そうなんだろ。
Wow. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's not gonna do that, especially since he's already accusing us of being the ones that are hacking in and disabling shit.
させないからな。そんなこと絶対に。
落ち着け。お前が動けば軍がお前を追ってくる。母親の居場所をみすみす連中に知らせることになっちゃうだろう。
Won't they do the same thing to us? We didn't know how Asuma's mother was going to die. It wasn't just the Holy Office we had to look out for. The army could be the real threat. We had to keep everyone away from
お
her.
前が軍を引きつけてくれれば俺は自由に動ける。
The army only cared about Asuma. They wouldn't pay attention to what I was doing.
だから、
Are you sure about that, though?
俺がお前の母親を連れ出して逃げる。
おとり作戦ですね。
ああ、
Momo had helped with this kind of plan before, so she knew what I was getting at right away.
協力させろ。アスマ、
お前が軍に見つかったらどうするんだよ。
きっとあっさり殺されるだろうな。
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to keep us alive. Asuma, it's a dead or alive sort of, you know, situation, according to the big army guy, Graham.
けどだからお前の母親のことも助け出して絶対に逃げ切ってやる。
Yeah, let's just not tell him that, yeah, this is our first go around, so we don't really know what's going to happen, and therefore we haven't loaded yet.
困ってる人を放っておけない将来有望の七七さんたち。それが中野シンフォニーズの心情です。
Really happy that she's standing by it,
そういうことだ。
and that she's memorized it. Wait, he's actually going to show us? Wow. Asuma sent me
ク
something.
レードルはそこだ。
Wait, where is it? That deep, huh? A whole bunch of doors kept it sealed away. It was basically a fortress. But now that its security was off, anyone could just waltz in there. Is it that lower tier section?
利害が一致しただけだからな。いいか、絶対に守れよ。でないと許さないからな。
ああ、任せろ。
My eyes met Momo's.
モモ、アスマと一緒にいてやってくれ。
Asuma was panicking. I didn't want to leave him alone.
はい。ポロンさん、気をつけて。
モモも無茶するなよ。
I ran through the hallway marked on the map. Oh, shit is going to hit the fan. I just don't know how. I don't know when. I don't know what the severity of it is, but we got to be ready to jump. We have got to be ready. We got to look out for that one line. I'm sure it's going to be another slim gap of some sort. but we gotta be ready to go. After parting ways with Pollon, I held Asuma's hand as we sprinted desperately around the facility.
次の階段を上へ。いや、上がるのはまずいな。そのまま右へ。数が多すぎる。
Yeah, honestly, this whole place is just crawling with bad news. Cross was relaying directions so we could make our way around without running into any soldiers, but we couldn't avoid them forever. Maybe it was because we had been spotted once already, but no matter where we went, I could sense soldiers nearby.
ジュノさんと連絡は？
ポロンが呼びかけてるが、応答なしだ。
くそ、ロックしてもすぐ解除される。一体誰だ？誰の仕業だよ！
Somebody has the upper hand. Somebody powerful. Somebody with strong equipment. Asuma shook off my hand and went back to inputting commands on his cube device, excuse me. It looked like he was trying to turn the security on again, but he was so focused that he wasn't paying any attention to our situation. That's why I had to take his hand and manually lead him away from any danger. The confident facade that he had displayed when he found us here had vanished completely.
Asuma-san, お母さんのことはポロンさんに任せましょう。
Yeah, stress and fear and all that can really throw you for a loop. I grabbed his arm and tried to lead him, but then... God damn it, bro. He shook me off again.
Asuma-san, 待って！
まずい。
Uh-oh.
引き返せ。その先に。
ターゲット発見。
Yep, here we go. Oh no. We ran into two soldiers. They pointed their guns at us the moment they saw us. I pushed Asuma to the ground. Bullets flew overhead. I crawled behind some cover, dragging Asuma with me. They opened fire without hesitation. They didn't even warn us. They wanted us dead, but it was no wonder. Asuma was responsible for the deaths of countless soldiers. I had wanted to save everyone, but even in the face of the end, people's hatred raged on. I couldn't stand it. It hurt so much that I wanted to scream. Was the world truly going to follow the fate line? Was this it? Bullets ricocheted off the walls around us. We were pinned down.
Momo, まずいぞ。どんどんそこに集まってきてる。
Yeah, not really surprising.
こっちからじゃ居場所を知らせるのが精一杯だ。アスマに行って警備システムを使わせるんだ。それで時間を稼げる。
アスマさん。
I looked over at him to see blood flowing from his forehead. Had one of the bullets actually hit him? Yeah, what's going on with the kid all of a sudden? Did he get hit? Or did we accidentally slam his big ass noggin on the floor? Not really sure. After separating from Asuma and Momo, I rushed towards Asuma's mom, Miori Soga. I had to be careful the army didn't spot me. If anything, they're going to be racing towards those two, so it might clear a path for us. That ruled out the fastest route, and man, did that suck.
大丈夫。近くには今は誰もいないよ。
よし、いいぞ。
After checking if it was safe, I kept on moving. I don't really know how they could tell. Cross was busy helping Momo, so Nono was acting as my backup instead. I had called Oz and Koru too.
アスマの家族に一体何があった？おっさんたちは知ってるんだろ。
I knew that Asuma himself would never open up, so I hadn't even asked him. These two had been investigating Gaia and Asuma for a while now, though, so I guess they knew something. And the cat's kind of out of the bag now, with people knowing about Asuma to a degree and what he's been doing here. And my guess was right on.
アスマの父親、曽我幸平は3年前に自殺してる。それがあの家族を狂わせたんだ。
People had dug up that piece of info and it had blown up online. Apparently, he killed himself because he was exposed for embezzlement. Yeah, that'll happen.
アスマは幼い
Easy
頃
way
か
out of
ら
that one.
特にコンピュータエンジニアリングやプログラミングの面で非凡な才能を見せていた。神童とまで呼ばれてな。周囲からは褒めたたえられた。両親にとっても自慢の息子だった。
Well, yeah, who wouldn't be? I mean, yeah, if I had a child and they were fucking smart when it came to programming, like, to an unreasonable degree, then fuck yeah, I'm gonna call them a prodigy and praise the shit out of them. If you stop there, they'd sound like a happy family.
一方で蘇我アスマの父親蘇我幸平は平凡な人間でした。
Yeah, I can kind of see where this is going.
平凡？
勤めていた会社の金に手を出した。
Okay, this is actually not the direction I saw this going in, but it's kind of close. It's a little interesting though. Usually it's the other way around, a son trying to get, proper recognition out of his father or something like that, but it's the complete other way around. I guess especially if you're seen as like a boy genius, prodigy Jimmy Neutron type.
なんでそうなるんだ。
息子にいい格好したかったっていう父親としてのプライドかもな。理由は本人にしかわからねえことだ。
What kind of person would steal to prop up his pride? Hell, resorting to that stuff should have made him feel even more pathetic. Man, what was it with dads and acting like total dipshits? It's power, popularity, what people think of you, trying to be the best, trying to be better than others, trying to do more, trying to become the most successful. FOMO, money. I don't know. I mean, it could be a whole list of shit. Oh, great. Even fucking better.
第一発見者は息子で当時11歳のアスマでした。
Ah, yeah, that'll definitely mess with the mind a little. Boy genius or not. That explained why he didn't trust anyone, and why he was so fixated on his mom too. It made sense when you considered his past. Yeah, without the context, it is a little weird. Why is domestic violence a tip? I'm sure we all know about domestic violence. Or is it going to tell us a little bit? No, it's just the fucking definition of domestic violence. There's just nothing else to it. Refers to abusive behavior between spouses, family members, or other forms of intimate relationships. And it does suck that it is such a common thing. I don't know. I mean, obviously, more and more people are trying to urge others to look out for signs of possible domestic violence and abuse and relationships that, are definitely going down the drain. But you also don't want to meddle in other people's business. It's such a difficult situation.
だがこの後がアスマにとってはむしろ地獄だったのさ。母親の蘇我美織は夫が死んだのはアスマのせいだと責めた。そんなわけねえってのに。
Oh, great.
息子に一方的に憎しみを向けたんだ。
But he still cares for her, right? I mean, obviously he doesn't want her dead. Back then I felt neither shock nor sadness. I thought the pain would end and that mother would stop crying. That's it's kind of an interesting thing whenever you consider the fact that they were both abused. Wow. All right. Jesus. Damn, don't you love your own, flesh and blood that crawled out of you?
じゃあ僕は母さんにとって愛する人じゃないの？あなたなんかどうでもいい。
Oh, come on. Come
大量の睡
on.
眠薬を一気に飲んだことによる昏睡状態で
Yeah, that'll happen.
今のところ回復の可能性は
So wherever she's being stored right now,
さん、
the cradle, if you will,
僕は
she's definitely like, oh,
アスマ、こっちへいらっしゃい。ほら、こっちへ。ごめんね。もう話さないからね。ごめんね。
huh?
母さん。
What? What the fuck? Oh, wait. We snapping back to reality here?
しっかりしてください。
Yeah, I was gonna say, is she, in a fucking, Yeah, we see you. Is she, in a situation where she can't, live normally or something and, go out and about? And maybe that's why she's, not necessarily in prison, but in this room stored away so far, far away to avoid any more issues? I woke up, but it wasn't Mother that I saw. The one holding me in her arms and keeping me safe was Lucia. A disappointing sight. Yeah, especially after that deep of a flashback. And then I felt myself start to panic again. Mother was in danger, and I was wasting time here. My vision was tinged with red. My hair was wet and it felt gross. I touched it, coating my fingers in blood. My head was spinning. Everything was so loud. Couldn't they just keep quiet? Yeah, that is what happened, and we kind of saw that go down.
なぜ助けない？
無理だよ。
Yeah, there's no helping you there.
なぜ助けない？犯罪者。
Oh, yep, our lovely 4chan messages. What lovely statements. Thank you, Internet.
みんな、黙れよ!
Oh? Suddenly everything went silent. Okay. The next thing I knew, I was standing in the hallway covered in blood. I glanced around. Countless pieces of meat were scattered across the floor. They'd probably been soldiers until a few moments ago. What the fuck did Momo just see? The woman remained, but she was staring at me in shock. Who killed these people? It didn't matter. It was quiet now, and that was enough.
ずっと願ってるんだ。いつか母さんが回復して、二人で生活できる日が来るといいなって。
I have a feeling that there's something about Asuma that none of us even know about that could lead to a calamity of some sort.
幸せに暮らす今だ。
Oh, don't do that. That's just gonna ruin your fucking mental state.
これ以上奪わないでよ。
Oh, this poor child was throwing himself into a deep, deep abyss. All this time. As smart as he is, he's actually really fucking dumb.
母親も寝たきりだって？
Okay, so she is in a coma. Alright. Unsure of how to feel about it all, I rushed ahead through the hallways. Now I understood why Asuma's mother didn't seem to have much say in what he did with her. Well, yeah. She's just being treated for.
家族の件が関係してるのかもな。
くしょー！
I figured he was just a know-it-all brat. Well, he is. How could I get pissed off at him after hearing what he had been through?
とにかく何としてもその母親を守らないと。
I wasn't so cocky I assumed I could save the little guy alone. But I wasn't the kind of douchebag to ignore someone in need either. An elevator was open at the end of the corridor. I ran in without a moment's hesitation. There was a biometrics touch panel inside, but the elevator started moving before I had a chance to use it. Yeah, there's no security here anymore. It looked like it only went one floor down. I swear, if I didn't make it in time, I feel like we didn't. Oh, what's up, Rosario? Huh? Rosario?
どうした？連絡取れなかったけど何かあったのか？
There was too much noise in the background. Something wasn't right.
今どこだ？
フェリーあるかなか
Uh-oh.
出している
Well, yeah, she's the one that we saw, well, the past couple times, but, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if she's really stepping into all this now.
あ、おい！
Where the fuck is she? What the fuck is going on?
なんだって？
Was she trying to avoid being detected? The elevator reached the lower floor. Whoa. I ran out through the open door and into another hallway.
ていうか、フェリーのアルカナって誰だ？モモ、何か知ってるか？
Oh, she's the big baddie.
会話できる状態じゃない。
No, I think she's in a bit of a firefight or stunned.
そっちも何かあったのか？
お前はお前の役割を果たせ。
Oh, I'm sure Cross saw some shit too.
わかったよ。
Man, so much was going on. I felt like a net was tightening around us.
いや、気のせいだ。
And I had my saving and loading, you know, of which we haven't used yet. If the Holy Office were going all out, then I'd just kick their ass. Oh yeah? Damn it, I got distracted. I noticed something sharp flying towards me and jerked my body to dodge it. It was a cross the size of a knife. The man who had thrown it had clearly come from another country. He didn't look like a Guy staff or a soldier. That meant he had to be an agent of the Holy Office. I figured they'd get in here, excuse me. He wasn't alone either. There were about 10 people in front of me? Jesus. Men and women of various ages. Unlike the guy who had thrown the cross, these people don't look like agents or didn't look like agents. Actually, they looked super ordinary. But there was something freaky about them. Blood was oozing from their necks, arms, and legs. I could see wounds on some of their necks and the backs of their hands. For some reason, the wounds were etched in the shape of crucifixes. They looked like ordinary people, but their vacant gazing, coupled with the wounds carved into their bodies, well, something was definitely off about them.
神に反逆するものか。神に反逆するもの。
Yeah, I guess so.
粛清よ。粛清よ。
Okay, so they just fucking listen to this guy. Oh, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Not done hearing that term. How could I handle this? It didn't look like there was any way I could slip by them. No, Oh, hello, Juno. Juno was suddenly standing next to me. I quickly sent her the cradle's location. The next moment, she grabbed my arm and I immediately found myself somewhere new. What? Where has she been? Why is she only now helping us again? We're really trying not to. I hadn't expected her to come back. But man, just 1 second and we were here, huh? Things would have been way easier if she'd been with us the whole time. That's just not how she operates, though. Still, this wasn't the time to complain about that. I'll complain about it. I was finally at the cradle. This was the lowest area of the Institute. It was below even the deepest part of Tokyo Bay. I didn't sense anyone around here. It was so silent, it was kind of scary. I had to take Miori Soga away from here ASAP before the army or the Holy Office arrived. Yeah, I'm fairly certain nothing is right here, and I'm sure that Asuma's mother has already been killed. I hadn't noticed until she said so, but Juno was right. There was a thick, heavy door that looked like it belonged on a giant safe, and it was open. I was told that Asuma's mother was comatose. She couldn't have left by herself. Had someone gone in there? Shit, we weren't the first. Feeling tense as hell, I stepped inside the room. I mean, if somebody's going to shut down this whole security system, they're also going to get in here before we ever even think of coming in here. I looked around cautiously to see if anyone else was around. What a weird fucking room. The room was bigger than I had expected, and its ceiling was high too. It was more like a hall. There was nowhere for anyone to hide. The size only made it feel emptier though, maybe because the place was so bare. The only thing I could see was a king-size bed, but there was no one in it. But why? Or she wasn't in here to begin with, maybe? No, that wouldn't be right. Where did Asuma lead us into? And what's Rosario up to? God damn, there's so much shit going on. Rosario fell to her knees, unable to stand back up. She was in a dark, cramped back alley that even the cleaning trucks ignored. There was garbage strewn all over. It was hard to believe an alley so dirty was connected to a main road. It was a place most passers-by would turn their backs to, but Rosario was in there. She was ignoring the filth, and she was fighting the pain. Her hand was pressed against her chest, where a bloodstain was spreading wider. But what hurt most wasn't the wound under her clothes. It was the splitting pain emanating from deep within her brain. She had managed to contact Pollon and warn him, but the cacophony of voices in her head had silenced her. Whatever she had said and heard was being drowned out by the voices echoing inside her mind. Rosario remembered the day that she had become an agent of the Holy Office 513. Her body had been subjected to a particular ritual on that day. Yeah, I'm sure whatever that ritual was did not end up in, things just being hunky-dory afterwards. It was approximately 2 years earlier. Driven by her thirst to avenge her father's death, she spied on the proponents of the end. She outwardly acted as one of them, and after long, hard work, she was finally accepted, into the Holy Office 513 as an agent. And on her very first day, she was let into a moldy underground church in the Vatican. This was where she had first met Foligno Arcana. Rosario did not understand why it was Foligno that she was meeting with, rather than the head of the Holy Office. However, she recalled a disturbing story which she heard from her anti-fate allies. There was once a child, an innocent girl too young to even speak. Separated from her parents, she was forced to see something not even the Holy Office agents were allowed to behold: the fate line. Furthermore, she relived the lives of individuals who witnessed past miracles through VR, simulated in necropilgrimage. The process was reiterated every day, all day long, all year long. And this is a child that can't even, say anything? Basically, a baby, basically? For what seemed like an eternity, she was made to watch the pasts of total strangers and the future predictions leading to the end times. And thus, the Holy Office 513 attempted to create an artificial Virgin Mary. Those are the rumors that she had heard. If the said girl was Foligno, it would explain why she could talk with Lorenzo Garzelli, head of the Holy Office 513, as her equal. All of this meant that Foligno was a person to be wary of, and Rosario had to do whatever she could to ensure her secret agenda remained as such. Thus, Rosario had no choice but to do as she was told. First, she unbuttoned her clothes and kneeled before the cross.
すべてのエージェントは終末に至るフェイトラインの守り手となります。
What the fuck is she doing?
故にその身に聖痕を刻まなければなりません。これは主への誓いの証。その身を終末が至る瞬間まで主に捧げるためのもの。
Wouldn't it be more effective to just get a cool-ass tattoo or some shit? Foligno gently pierced Rosario's chest with a consecrated blade? Whatever that is, trails of crimson blood flowed along her pale skin. Yeah, I'm sure that felt great.
これは試練であり、あなたの信仰心が深ければ深いほど。
There was something going on there with that knife. Something was put into her body for sure through that knife. Foligno smiled, but her hand did not stop. But I'm sure there's something extra, right? Or did she believe all that shit? Again, it could have been done maybe with a tattoo and maybe the ink could have had some weird shit in it or something. I don't fucking know. But it had to be that weird ass way. The holy mark Foligno carved upon her was now throbbing painfully as it bled. In the wake of that pain followed an intense headache and endless whispering voices. Ah, a woman's whispers echoed and resonated inside Rosario's head. She couldn't even hear her own voice anymore. She felt that if she obeyed the voices, she would surely lose herself. Rosario unfastened a knife from her waist. She glared down at it with cold, glassy eyes, then plunged the blade into her chest. All right. I guess she won't be hearing those voices anymore. I think she escaped that unfortunate situation. God damn, man. Oh, hey. Asuma made it to the Gaia. All right. Well, we will end the episode here. It's getting real fucking hard to commentate on any of this shit because your boy don't really know what the fuck is going on in a lot of situations. It's hard to really fathom what's going on, and the pacing, it's kind of jumping all over the place because I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. It's in some ways it's easy to follow along, in others it's not so much, but we ball, I suppose. But in the next episode, I guess I think we'll be doing some jumping because things are becoming quite disastrous, but it does appear that Asuma has some sort of ability where through his anger, he can just blow people into smithereens or some shit. I have no idea what really happened there, but Momo might have some sort of idea as to what may have occurred. But that could definitely lead to calamity. I mean, the entire world is kind of pissed him off, so I'm sure he's gonna want to murder, get rid of those people from talking, because that's the thing, is he wants silence. He wants people to shut up. Oh, he'll make them shut up. That's what it appears to look like. Where this ability came from and all that, not really sure. But other than that, no idea where his mother is, if his mother was even there to begin with, and no idea what Holy Office member is running around. It could be this Felino individual, so the big baddie, really, other than the leader of the Holy Office themselves. I guess maybe we'll find out in the next episode. Maybe. I really don't know. It's a lot, guys. It really is. And my puny brain could barely follow sometimes. But thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz, and I will see you all in the next one. Take it easy.